I took 2 months off of my business while my grandpa was passing away, and in the same time, I accidentally made 6 figures of additional income that I wasn't planning on. So in this return back to work and my return to my channel, I thought I would start by just being vulnerable, being transparent about what's been going on in my life, as well as give you the tools to navigate your life in its fullness in the times of difficulty and in the times of forward thinking. My hope is that this video gives you a bit of inspiration that both can exist at the same time. So if this sounds interesting to you, then keep on watching. So what's up, you guys? Welcome back. I don't know if I'm saying welcome back to you or honestly to me, because it's been a minute. And this is something that I had hoped to be able to do, which is to take time away when I need it. However, what I didn't anticipate was that I would miss you guys so much. So I am really excited to be back, and I've got a lot of cool things in the works. Well, before we talk about all of the cool stuff coming, I just want to kind of show up here for my YouTube community and tell you what's been going on. So for those of you who know me from Instagram, you already know I talked to you guys all throughout while it was happening. And I knew that when I came back to YouTube, this is how I would start again. So my grandpa is honestly my hero. You guys, the reason I choose to stand up for people, the reason I choose to care, the reason I choose to fight for a different path literally starts with him. So he's one of my best friends. He's one of my biggest encouragements, and being able to be present physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, all of the ways while he transitioned is not only a gift that I could have never prayed for, but it's also a season of life that I've been preparing for. You know, in 2016, when I graduated college, I remember thinking to myself, this man who I love so much is aging. Like, I saw my grandfather, this figure who's larger than life, suddenly start to move slower. I saw him suddenly start to wrinkle, which, you know, the boy was like he looked good, you know. It was amazing that it took until he was 70 plus to finally start seeing some fine lines somewhere. But it had me cognizant that, okay, he's gonna pass away, and this time I want to be present for it all. And I want to show up, and I want to get closer to him, not further or distance, because I'm scared. At the same time, I was nervous about, you know, how he would pay to bury him. If I'm being honest with you guys, like, that time in my family's journey was still tough financially. And so thinking of the fact that this person who, I mean, has poured so much into all of us will pass, and we had the questions of what might that look like, it broke my heart. And I chose to refuse to see that horizon coming steadily closer and closer, and to sit by idly while my family and that horizon were coming together. So I started thinking about different money-making strategies and wealth moves, and that actually really catalyzed my whole career. So to say this season is what I've been preparing for my entire career is not an understatement. And I want to be clear that, of course, I miss my grandpa so much. So much. And that I felt prepared. I never thought I could see someone transition, be present, and experience life more fully than I ever have. And any of you who watched my TED Talk have literally seen me spiral in front of millions of people about this exact topic. You see me be anxious, be scared, be numb. You see me run. And to know that in this season, the work that I've put in on myself, emotionally and spiritually and financially, helped me stand stronger, helped my spine be stronger, and not run when I see a loved one passing away has been incredible. And to give you guys a bit of like logistical context, I have been running my business. Like, I left my job, the last company that I built, I left it in April. Fast forward, I'm just 12 months fresh working for myself, full-time, betting on myself, and not only has this been one of the things my grandpa's most proud of me for because he's also an entrepreneur, but in that time, I was able to take 2 months off. I didn't have to worry about PTO. I didn't have a boss to answer to. I didn't have, you know, an executive team to be nervous about, like, am I pulling my weight? Are they like thinking negatively of me, etc. while I'm away? And not only did I not have to think about, you know, work, but as soon as I got the call that he was in the hospital, I booked a one-way first class ticket home because I knew this was gonna be one of the most difficult things in my life. So I wanted to show up for myself with gentleness, with care, and a little bit of abundance, if you will. And so I went home to Memphis for 2 months. And in that time, I put everything, like I just stepped away from everything. And not fully, I was maybe putting in 2 hours of work a day, just like keeping a few things running, not because I felt obligated, but y'all, because I wanted to. I genuinely wanted to, and it would light me up. Well, throughout that process, I made a few different moves that I wasn't expecting to make. And genuinely, they were all part of the strategy that I'm about to lay out for you, right? But long story short, I was preparing to launch something this summer. And to do this successfully, I have been preparing since January to make sure that the program is really good for you guys, that you know how to make more money, how to heal yourself, and how to help your community without having to sacrifice your health, wealth, or impact, right? And have been thinking of how to dig in and show up with you guys in ways that you get results. So in my mind, 6 months of preparation so that when the course launches, you guys are loving it. Well, to do this effectively and to make sure you guys saw it, I hired a company, a paid ads company, to help me figure out how to get the right message in front of the right people. So as we're working together, I knew, okay, I want to increase my ad budget so that, again, as many people who could benefit from this would actually see it. To do this, I thought, let me open up publicly one-on-one applications through my program called the Genius Lab, which I have never opened publicly. And long story short, I made $100,000 in 2 weeks, you guys. $100,000 in 2 weeks while I was taking 2 months off. And in that time, I was literally physically in Memphis at the hospital with my parents, with my siblings, like being present in a season of life that I knew would challenge and stretch us all. So I know I'm casually talking about making 6 figures while one of the loves of my life is transitioning, but the reason I'm telling you guys this is not for the glory of money, and it's not for the sympathy that comes with death or grief. What I'm trying to share with you all in my story coming back is that the both and in life is so important. The both and is so incredibly important. And this is why I show up for you guys here. I think the both and of you can deal with the most celebratory times of your life and feel sad or feel numb. You can be dealing with grief, deep grief, and feel elated that you're still building the future you want to build. And the way that I want to wrap up this video is actually giving you the tools to do the same, right? Not just to know the emotions of both and, but give you some practical tools so that you can secure your present and your future and get to those moments in life that call your emotions one way, and know that the future goals that you've been working so hard for, or the future that you've wanted to dream of but weren't sure was possible, I want you to know that that can still move forward even if you're not putting pressure on it. Even if you're not feeling like you have to go 24/7, like you can build a life of ease. And the biggest tip I want to give for you guys, or the strategy we're wrapping up with, is that you have to get serious about owning your time, owning your capital, and by capital, I'll break that down in a second, but owning your capital, owning your time, of course, and making sure that the things you spend your time and money doing actually fulfill you, right? So there's a lot to unpack there, and that's honestly the whole purpose of my channel. So if you rock with these kinds of topics, please subscribe, because I'm gonna keep talking about this, right? It's not all gonna come out in one video. However, what I will say in this video is that the best way to own your time and to own all of your capital is to build ethical wealth through entrepreneurship. And what I mean by this, going back to the defining capital, you have so much at your disposal, even if you right now don't have financial capital. You've got cultural capital, you've got financial capital, you've got social capital, you've got intellectual capital. Like, there are so many valuable things in your life, in your experience, that you can draw on, that you can leverage, and leverage it into creating more space, having more resources, buying your time. That's the biggest thing for me right now with you guys. I want you all to buy your time from an employer. Meaning, I want you to go work for yourself. I want you to literally own your time, and then not just own it, but to allocate it in the ways that align with your most sacred priorities. Align your time to make the both and possible, because I'll just tell you guys, if I had not left my job, and my grandpa was passing away, you guys, if I had not been able to take the time off, if I had not seen such beautiful influx of cash coming in at the same time, if I hadn't been able to be with my parents and my siblings, etc., I wouldn't be back on YouTube right now. I wouldn't even have a YouTube channel, but I wouldn't want to see anyone. I would be so deep in depression. And you guys know I've experienced depression throughout my life, right? So I know what will trigger that for me. And just to know that the entirety of my health, the entirety of my mental sanity would have been so much worse. It would have been so much worse. And this would not be what I've now called a season of celebration if I didn't own my time. So this is my coming back. This is my welcome back to you, to me. And in all of this, I thought about you guys, which is kind of wild for me because your girl's a little introverted. Like, I thought, a year ago I'd have only been thinking about myself, but because, again, of all the work that I've done, I've been able to not be scared of, I've just got to be in survival mode, right? Through that time, I was thinking about how am I going to show up for my people, both in person and online. So I'm really glad to be back. I'm super glad to be back. And if you've gotten value from this video, just know that this is the right place for you. I'm excited to show up for you, and we'll talk soon. In the meantime, if you want more content, there are videos that are gonna pop up. You already know the drill. Click on one of them and enjoy. And until next time, I'll see you later.